Today, we're diving deep into the world of conspicuous consumption and its subtle yet profound impact on our most precious resource, time. When you do the math, you might be selling yourself for close to nothing and not realize it. All rich billionaires in the grave would give you all their wealth for a few hours of time if they could. Let that sink in for a moment. Conspicuous consumption is a term coined by economist Thorstein Veblen in his 1899 book, The Theory of the Leisure Class. It refers to the spending of money on and the acquiring of luxury goods and services to publicly display economic power, either real or pretended. Mostly pretend. But beyond the simple act of buying, conspicuous consumption involves a complex social and psychological dance that devours time. First, let's talk about the money that buys these goods. To earn money, most of us exchange our time for it.
Manage you to, on a more personal scale, a more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Microregiment?
Boom. Yes. Now, Jim is going to be
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average American works about 34.4 hours a week. But what's interesting is how much of that time goes into purchases meant primarily to impress others. Take, for example, the latest iPhone. As of 2024, the median hourly wage in the US is around $20 or so. If the newest iPhone costs approximately $1,000, it would take 50 hours of work to afford it. That's more than a week's work for a phone that's often bought for its status rather than its functionality.
I did slide it and let go. Not turn it on. Here. Okay. We'll let an expert see if he can turn it on.
Real gentle giant, throwing a camera at people in the dark, not the best to show appreciation. Our collective pursuit of material wealth is a hamster wheel of dissatisfaction. Socrates once stated, "He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have." This insight unravels the futility of accumulating possessions. If we are perpetually dissatisfied with our current state, acquiring more will only extend this discontent. It is like drowning in misery and thinking by doing more actions that cause you misery will make you happier.
I am the least happy I've ever been in my life. I'm closest to not wanting to be alive ever as I've ever been. And I have every single thing on paper that I wanted.
Tyler Durden in Fight Club harshly reminds us,
advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
Here, Durden encapsulates the vicious cycle where we, driven by advertisements, relentlessly pursue unnecessary goods, sacrificing personal happiness and professional satisfaction in the process. What a waste of life that destroys happiness and relationships. And the worst part, the expensive lies lead to emotional and financial burdens that are sometimes overwhelming. This relentless chase is not just about obtaining more, but reflects a misguided quest for happiness through buying. Furthermore, Durden's assertion that the things you own end up owning you highlights the enslavement brought by possessions. The irony is crazy. What we own to enhance our lives ends up constraining them. Every new purchase, while momentarily thrilling, soon demands maintenance, worry, and eventually replacement. A never-ending cycle that diverts time and energy from truly fulfilling activities. Research from San Francisco State University suggests that people who spend money on experiences rather than material goods are generally happier. This happiness comes from the efficient use of time, experiencing life rather than shopping for it. But the quest for conspicuous goods flips this dynamic, focusing our efforts on obtaining objects that often demand additional time in maintenance, learning, and even in the act of purchasing. Here's where it gets more insidious. The psychological effort involved in conspicuous consumption also consumes time. A study in the Journal of Consumer Research highlighted that just thinking about acquiring luxury goods can lead to time-consuming behaviors like excessive comparison shopping, which involves scrolling through countless web pages, visiting multiple stores, and watching reviews and unboxing videos. Each minute spent in these activities is a minute not spent on potentially more fulfilling pursuits.
Come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
In the digital age, conspicuous consumption has found a fertile ground in social media. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are not just places for sharing, they are arenas for flaunting new purchases. The time you spend curating your life on these platforms, taking the perfect photo, applying the right filter, and engaging with comments can add up significantly. As we are familiar, there are many examples where people literally lost all their time forever trying to get the perfect picture. A very unfortunate way to lose out on life, to share a picture with complete strangers.
259 people have died taking selfies over the past 6 years, with the most likely causes drowning, transportation, like taking selfies in front of oncoming trains, and falling from heights. Most of the victims were between 20 and 29, and more than 70% were men.
A survey from marketing agency MediaKicks found that the average person will spend more than 5 years of their life on social media. 5 years sounds insane. How much of this is driven by the need to display status goods? Who knows for sure, but the number has to be insanely high. Imagine a life where instead of shopping every weekend, you learned a new language, picked up a hobby, or simply relaxed with loved ones. Maybe find out what really makes you tick, who your true friends are. Some Plato-type approach to finding out the meaning of life and why it is so short. Maybe even create a YouTube channel in your middle age and make videos about other videos while watching too many new videos to make new videos. That sounds too familiar for some reason. Never mind, let's focus on shopping. Let's quantify this. If you spend 4 hours each weekend shopping, that adds up to 208 hours a year. That's over 8 full days per year. Imagine what you could accomplish with that extra time. Conspicuous consumption isn't just a drain on your wallet, it's a stealthy thief of your time. Each minute spent earning money for acquiring, maintaining, and showcasing status goods is a minute that could potentially be spent enriching your life in more meaningful ways. Next time you're tempted by that flashy new purchase, ask yourself, is this really worth my time, my life, my relationships, my happiness? Because as we've seen, time, unlike money, is something you never get back. If this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.